I'm back. Thank you for being back and for the enormous success this series on the Mavic Pro has got in the past month. And today, well, we're going to keep on talking about the Mavic Pro because, well, simply because people like it. But it ain't a show without an intro. So roll the intro. This show will be mainly for people who are expecting their Mavic Pro in the upcoming days, upcoming weeks, or you're planning on buying one in a few months from now. This show is for you. I'm so thrilled that you're back, guys. Thank you very much for your trust and loyalty. I'm glad to see you again. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen my very popular video called Things Nobody Talks About. It was written, Did You Know? That was the video in which I was giving my impressions after 4 weeks of using my Mavic Pro. Well, now it's been 3 months and I kept on learning. And also, some of you guys fed me some informations and I'm here today to share that with you guys. Now, disclaimer here, I never pretended to be a professional drone pilot. That's not what I am, and this show has never pretended to be a tech review. I'm just a regular guy like most of you who is learning as I go. So that being said, let's move on to more important things. First thing I'm going to suggest you, film your unboxing. Not to upload it on YouTube, but to protect you. Why am I telling you that? For a few reasons. Well, I've heard of a few cases where people received their Mavic Pro and a few parts were broken on it. I'm talking especially here about the little gimbal here, which is very, very tiny, very fragile. One more thing, I'm not sure if that's true, but apparently DJI doesn't refund any of their product. I'm not sure if it's just a local thing or if it's worldwide, but anyway, I wouldn't take any chance if I were you. I've also learned, I'm not sure, I can't, apparently, they don't have a very, very good customer service. So I can't testify that because I didn't have to deal with them. And my Mavic Pro is still in one piece, but you're never too strong to defend yourself. So shoot your unboxing, and I'm gonna tell you specifically what are the parts that usually are broken when people open the box. While it's all folded, I'm going to go through the 3 steps you have to make sure you do when you take your drone, put it on the ground before liftoff. So the first one, of course, unfold the arms. Step number 2, take the gimbal cover off. Step number 3, take this clamp off here. And that's the one you might forget the most. That's why I'm suggesting you to count those 3 steps. Now you put it on the ground, it's ready to turn on by pushing twice here, 1, 2, and the second time you hold it down till the lights are gonna turn on. Now you're ready to fly. One more thing, when the engines are turning and the propellers are rotating and it crosses your mind to change the location on the ground of your drone from one place to another one, don't grab it by the body while the propellers are turning. You're going to cut your finger for sure. There's not enough space here to grab it this way here. I did it once and I cut my finger, and I'm not the only one. So if you want to move it, shut the engines first with the remote or turn it off. If you grab it like this, you're done. You're going to lose a finger. Okay, now let me show you the things you want to make sure are fine when you will receive your Mavic Pro. So the things that I've seen that was broken the most are those. Let me put it this way. There's another one here, and those plates here, they're very, very tiny and very fragile. I could bend them almost like paper. They're only there, from what I'm concerned, to protect the wires that are underneath. So they're not mandatory, but of course you want them to be there when you will receive your drone because, well, it's a new drone and you paid over $1,000 to have it. So you want to make sure those two little round protector are in place. So That's the first thing you should check. And I'm aware of at least 3 persons who either it was bent or one of them was not even in the box. It was not there at all. Now the next point, you want to make sure that your lens is not scratched. Make sure that everything is fine. In my case, everything was fine. The only thing I had is my gimbal was out of socket. Now let me turn it this way here. You will see that there are 2 triangle-shaped black pieces here. And in the back here, there's, I don't know if you can see that one here, but there's an L bracket here. They are there to prevent the gimbal from going too far. If ever they go over that, which is possible, let me show you here. Okay, I just took one off the socket here. You can see here, it's totally out of its place now. And in my case, it was the one in the back that was out of its place. And it was a little bit hard to put back at its place. This one here is very easy. You just have to push it and it will go straight underneath here. So the 2 in the front here are not that hard to deal with. But the one in the back, you will have to work a little bit harder to make sure that it goes underneath the L bracket. So that's it for the gimbal. Next, you want to make sure that this door here opens well and it's held in place with the rubber here. This is for the SD card, micro SD card. Same for this one here. In my case, this one here, the rubber was broken when I received it. Well, it was a bummer, but I didn't want to return my Mavic Pro for that. And that one here is to hide the port for the wire to download footage to the computer, but you can also simply take the SD card off and put it in your computer. Now, if you crash your drone into something, a little crash and nothing seems to be damaged, take the time to take off all the propellers and make sure that the 3 L-shaped plastic bracket here are fine. So make sure your propellers are well fixed and the plastic bracket underneath, all of them are fine. You're ready to go fly. Okay, so now that you're done flying, you want to go back to the 3-step process that I've talked about before, but not necessarily in the reverse order. First, you will shut off your Mavic Pro by pushing twice and holding it the second time till all the lights are going to turn off. Then you will fold your Mavic Pro. Back first, front, then you will put it on its back because it's the best way to put back the clamp behind the gimbal here. And you want to the 2 teeth here to go on each side of the round plate to hold it in place. It's kind of tricky the first time, but see, it was not that hard for me because I did it before. Then you want to put back the gimbal cover and we're back to square number 1. Now I want to talk about the gimbal protector here. I've received a ton of messages telling me that it was not a good advice to tell people to fly with the gimbal protector on because it was causing overheating of the motors. That is false. I've read the manual twice and not a single place it's mentioned that you can fly with the gimbal protector on. So where the hell did people got that bad? Not only that, but in the promo video of the Mavic Pro, DJI flight with the gimbal protector on. Why couldn't I? Repeating something that seems to make sense to you without checking if it's true, that's what we call propaganda. And Marlon Brando had something very interesting to say about that. He said,
I don't think that we should believe what we hear, even if it's a good report, and even if it's a bad report. We have to make up our own minds about it. I think that's essential.
Don't ever believe what we say. Look by yourself and make your own opinion about it. That's what I did before telling people to fly with the gimbal protector on because I've heard that rumor. But I went and I double checked and I couldn't confirm that. So it's totally perfect to fly with the gimbal protector on, especially at the beginning when you start flying your drone. Now what you should know is, of course, the image quality will not be the same. Now enough of that. So, you're expecting your Mavic Pro or you're about to buy one very soon. You know what? You can take a step ahead and already start learning about it now. How? Well, very simple. You can go online and download the application DJI Go 4 app on your device and start learning right now. Because when you click on it here, it will open the application, and there's a few things I want to point out here. First here, there's 3 lines. If you click on that, it will give you a selection here. The second one here is Academy. You click on Academy and you will have more options here, and you click on the second one, which is Tutorials for Beginners. Ain't that practical? And you have a ton of videos here you can watch and start learning how it works. When you will be done with that, you can go back twice here to the first page. We'll swap this here and it will open the interface you will see when you will fly your Mavic Pro. That's the exact same thing, with the simple difference that instead of being a black background, it will be the image of your camera. Now, I want to point 3 things here. I'm not going to go all over that, but I just want to show you the 3 things you will use the most. First, the big button here is the record button. Now it doesn't work, but it will when you will have your camera. The other one underneath here, the 3 lines and the 3 dots here, if you click on that, those are the settings of the camera. You have 3 options here, 3-page, full of options, frame rates. You can play with the aperture, you can play with the format, aspect ratio, the ISO. You have everything about the camera. You want to go back. Now the last one I want to talk to you about today is the one on top here, the 3 dots here, which is where you will find the most information. And the first one on top is about the drone. It looks more like a Phantom than a Mavic, but still you have some information here about the RTH and beginner mode and stuff like that. The next one here is about the avoidance system. And the third one here, which is a remote control, you can take a look at that and understand how the remote control works, and you will be more familiar when you will receive your Mavic Pro. That's it for the application. Next, I would like to talk about the RTH. I made an entire video about the RTH telling you to deactivate this function now. Yeah, that's what I said. And I've received a truckload of shit from, hey, wait. You just didn't get my point, guys. I didn't say that the RTH was not good. I just said that in a very stressful situation, it's very easy to do the wrong thing. What I was suggesting to DJI is, if ever the pilot do something wrong with the RTH, it should not cancel half of the programming in it. It should cancel everything or nothing at all. Because while I was pushing the joystick down to make it land, it was trying to go up. So what I was doing was canceling, was counterbalancing what the drone was trying to do. That's why it stayed at 20 meters and it went straight into the trees. My whole point about it was that it shouldn't have done that. If it canceled a part of it, it should cancel everything or nothing at all. It's all or nothing. And guys, I'm not the only one to whom it happened. Did I make a mistake? Yeah. But did the Mavic Pro respond the right way? No. That's what I think. That's my own opinion about it. But because of some of you guys, I've also learned one thing that skipped my mind. I've read the manual twice. Yes, I read it twice. I could simply have switched the landing position to the remote control instead of the home point where it lifts off the ground. So if you move away from where you are, just go in the programming of the RTH and put the location of the landing where the remote control is, and your craft will land at your new position. So that's all I had to tell you today, guys. I'm done. I'm out of here. But just before leaving, I want to tell you something. Maybe you didn't know, but I'm a psychic. I have powers. And everybody who subscribed to my channel, you will have, if you don't have already, you will have a Mavic Pro within the next 2 months. And all of you guys who will like this video, you know what? You will never crash your drone. You will never crash your drone. It's guaranteed. It works all the time. And if ever you have the temptation to dislike this video, well, that's bad news for you guys. You know what? You will crash your drone in the next week. You don't have a drone, you will crash your car in the next week. You don't have a car, well, your girlfriend or your boyfriend will dump you in the next week. That's how powerful I am. I'm telling you. So better think twice before doing it. Okay, that's it, guys. Now I'm really gone. Let's find out if the Mavic Pro survived the water together right now.